Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we've got a map which is making me completely reassess my end of year map of the year series, just like yesterday's one. Look, we've had all year to get all the good maps done and out of the way. I figured 10 maps to the end of the series, end of the year. Do you know what? I'm safe. I can make a 12 map shortlist. Nothing's going to force its way on. And then you get a map like this one, which aesthetically is very pleasing indeed, detailing barely a thing wrong with it. Gameplay potential, it's got some really interesting gameplay mechanics. It's right up there, this one. You're going to have to help me with the comments today. Do you think that this is one of those of the very best of the year? So you can help me with comments. You can also help me with finger exercise. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and press. That's right, pressing that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. And if you're one of those that do, thank you so much. Today's map is Abakadaba by Anoupou Merynetjerou. I think I've got that close, you know. Probably haven't, but it sounds right to me. There's your start square, lots of lovely build plane there and some water in the top corner. Everything is good to go. There's your terrain heights. Everything is pretty flat apart from obviously a couple of mountains to work around. Okay, then you've got your resources, which look a little bit coloured in places, possibly a little bit stronger would be nicer where we have the oil in the sea, for example. And then off to the workshop. It's a mass transit map. We will be using mass transit for this one. You'll also be looking for Owl's Mediterranean alternative theme and Owl's cinematic luck pack HD version 1 or realistic 1.2, but we're using the cinematic one today. The Tides mod, we are configured for that. We won't really be looking at that though. We also have it in French and in the native language of Abakadaba. And if you're having trouble saying Abakadaba, you won't be the only one. We have a blooper at the bottom just to have a little mock of their own work. I love it. Love it. One-click collection, not much needed off of here. Really only the top 3 I would say are required, which is your theme, your LUT and a tree. The Tides mod, as I've mentioned, is being configured, although honestly I didn't have time to really go into any detail because this show is already really long. If I started testing with the tides as well, we would be up over half an hour. But it does look very good to me. As someone who has built a map that is configured for the Tides mod, this map does look like it will work beautifully with those said Tides mods. So excellent. Okay, we start off at the edge of the map. We have a tunnel that links with a lovely curved retaining wall around the back of it, which links the outer map to the island, the main build plane island. Then we've got a lovely, lovely highway. It's well drawn out, got to be honest. We have a rail over road there with well positioned the pillars there. That's all good work as well, and everything is slick. Heading down this way over an elevated section over the lake, which again is very pretty. Okay, so now we're heading off towards this mountain. We'll talk more about this mountain a little bit later on, but I will mention the theme. Now, the theme is excellent. The only grumble that we can possibly have with it, a little bit of jinky-janky on the tunnel entrance here. It's the only place on the entire map that I've seen any jinky-janky, so that's not a big problem. But yes, one thing you'll find with this theme is the edge of the roads can be a little bit temperamental with glitchiness on the curved sections. I don't know whether that's a big problem for you. If it is, then obviously there are alternative themes available, or you can use Theme Mixer to mix out the ruined effect for one that doesn't glitch so much. It's just a thought, no big problem. No real big problem with this highway either. It is very nicely done, going around the outside of the mountain there. We'll talk more about this particular bit of highway later on in today's show, so if you've got any grumbles about it, maybe I'll be grumbling about them later as well. We've got this defensive post. I'm not sure what this defensive post is actually defending. Oh, hello, we've got wildlife. We've got a deer there. Anyway, yes, we're not sure what we're defending. I mean, maybe there was some outpost down here in the cove around there that was just defending if anybody came around that way. I don't know. It's an interesting thing. I can't mark it down because I can't think of any reason why it wouldn't be there. I just can't think of any reason why it would be either. But there we are, all creative, all good. Right, okay, let's follow this highway on a little bit further in towards the start square and the start square intersection. And all of the work today with the intersections is top drawer. You won't be finding any issues with these at all. Like, look at that, good height again, no pillars in the way, a nice slick curve around there. I'm going to point out one little thing that I think could be improved on slightly. It's not a problem really, and that's how the two highways don't quite line up. It's very difficult to do this vanilla rules as such. See the truck having to change lanes a little bit there, half a lane to the right. What you can do is you can bend the roads a little bit and just like make it look a little bit straighter. And we straighten that up there, so we pop that in there until yeah, there we go, that's not so bad. And then we do a little bit of a bend on this just to align things up slightly without it glitching. Something like that ish, I could spend a lot more time on this, is a lot straighter. I like that. Okay, I have made some jinky jankies in the process, so obviously I'm only just showing you what I would have done myself, just to straighten the lanes up a little bit. That said, there's nothing wrong with it, and I can't really go about grumbling too much about that. Come on, there's nothing really to moan about there. It's within the game, it's fine. Okay, let's head down now towards the actual start square where we have a little roundabout in place, nicely decorated, and like the way that the trees extend into the roundabout. Oh, it's good design, so much good design with today's map. We've also got more wildlife. You may notice here we have Nelly the elephant, who has packed their trunk and is making their way to today's asset of the day. Because Nelly the elephant drives a Renault 46 and wants to take it into the UK car repair garage #1 by Rick 4000. Now, obviously, how do you get to Wales in the Mini? Down the M3, the M4, and over the Severn Bridge. Bum-bidum-ch. Only the English will get this one. Okay, factoids, because factoids. On today's date, the 12th of December 1955, the inventor of the hovercraft, Sir Christopher Cockerell, finally got his idea patented. The first hovercraft public service came into being some 6 years later, when a 24-passenger vehicle ran across the River Dee in England. There we go. That's today's factoid of the day. Okay, right, so where were we? UK car... Oh, look at it. This asset. Every time I see something from Rick, I just want to cry, because they are spot on. Admittedly, the theme and LUT do bring out the blues a little bit too indigo, but it's still very nice indeed. UK car repair garage #1 by Rick 4000. Okay, bye-bye Nelly. We'll leave you to trundle your way wherever you're trundling. And we'll head back to the highways, because the highways is good, you know. The highways is good. Very tidily done. I'm thinking parallel road tools being used here, because it is spot on, isn't it? Again, we've got the lane merging thing that I tidied up on the opposite side of the highway. You'll see that a couple more times. I'm not going to mention it anymore, because at the end of the day, I'm happy with it. I'm genuinely happy with it. It just could be tweaked a little bit, just to go for that extra, you know, if you're looking for the extra half star here or there, these are the things that can make the difference. Anyway, back down and around this mountain, there was a potential start location we just passed there. Another one being plopped in here as well. Again, perfect intersections. Perfectly lovely start location over there as well. Obviously not the start square, but all nice. And again, the detailing here is just beautiful. Very nice indeed. Okay, we'll keep getting down this way, heading down towards the edge of the map and the fog, when we'll start looking at the rail. And the rail on this map, the rail is doesn't look like it's going to be interesting, does it? I mean, just crossing over it now. The rail doesn't look like it's going to be interesting at all. I promise you, the rail, those that want to skip the rail, because you normally do, don't today. Don't. The rail has got some little hidden buttes about it. Anyway, now across the edge of the map and the mainland, if we can call it the mainland, I guess, and the fog there, and we got an intersection here, which if we little turn off here, little industrial area with pre-built docks. I've got to say, pre-built docks, but not overly done, just tidily done like that, so you can do what you like with it. It's not overly worked. got some roads there, and of course everybody's favourite factory. Plenty of lines, no problems at all with any of these. Nothing that I would normally mark anybody down on anyway. So anyway, let's follow the rail. If we follow the rail back this way, it heads back to a tunnel there. Tunnel then goes off to the edge of the map over there. Right, but we have seen rail on the mainland, so let's see if we've got an outside connection for this. Right, so the rail, where are we? Where should we start? Should we go left or right? We'll follow this way, because this is like running into the middle of the map. Should be a bit more interesting. Okay, so the rail heads up this way. We've been up this way already. Promise you there are no pillars in the way of the line there, because we're looking at a good creator here. Anoupou, you're in the echelon of being a good creator. Well done to you. We'll around this way as heavy goods go rumbling past my window again. Sorry if you can hear rumbling. Can't do anything about that. Had dog barking earlier. We might have heard that as well. Anyway, yes, we're just follow this around this way. We're looking for an outside connection around here somewhere. Cut through the tunnel there and bearing around. So we've gone past the outside link for the highway already. Now we're going around the headland with the mountain. We're going to hug the coast, which is, again, is good for elevation changes. No big problems with this. And then we emerge back out into the main part of the map again. Secondary building area around here, where you'll be extending into, I guess, once you've built your city up a little bit. And then this carries on down past your start square intersection. And then down here, we have got a little dead end built in with a trident. Remember the trident, that'll come in handy a bit later on. So that's Trident Bay. We'll call that Trident Bay. That'll make sense later when we do shipping routes and stuff. And then that nips down underneath that potential start square there. We have got mountains where we'll bury ourselves through the mountain, emerge over here. Fantasy map, so it's obviously not the most realistic of routes, but it's a believable route if fantasy. And then we've got an elevated section here as well. We'll cut through here. And then we have a broken stretch of rail. And this is done about as well as I've ever seen a broken stretch of rail done. Where it's very cleverly done the way that it's hidden under bits of rocks like that. I'm 100% believing in this, with the rockfall kind of blocking the tunnel entrance there as well. And then over here we're elevated again, and then over here still elevated. One thing I haven't shown you actually is the actual pillars. Like the multi-use here, we've got the dirt bridge pillar, and then of course we've got the rail pillar working with it. A nice combination there, totally believable and really aesthetically very pleasing as well. Then we come back down to ground here as we head back round. We've got a little tunnel here to make our way through. Again, fantasy world, so I don't mind this too much. Cutting through there. There were no real alternative routes other than to go through the mountain. And we've done a full loop because we're back to the highway. No outside connections. That's where you'd be wrong. This is where clever design comes in. And, just check to make sure we're high enough here. This is the only time a bridge and a sea crossing cross each other, and that's sorted. Anyway, where were we? Yes, I was going to show you the rail connection. See this? We have a hill and the tunnel going through the hill there, and then we have a little hidden break-off tunnel here, which merges under this mountain with the actual main line on the island. That is clever stuff. But there's more clever stuff to come with the rail, which we'll look at after the intermission. So that's where your rail's going, right under there, you know.
Have you never quite worked out how to use Ploppable Rico? And what the heck is Ploppable Rico anyway? Then you need the Beginner's Guide to Ploppable Rico by BonBonB. Click the information button below.
And so back to Abakadaba and the shipping routes. And the shipping routes go all the way around the island, which means that you can put your docks pretty much anywhere. We'll link up with those little angles like that. That's all very slick. No right angle turns on this map. Everything is very clean and precise. And then if we go around this way, we've got one goes in there. That is Trident Bay. Remember, I told you, remember Trident Bay? Yep, now you've seen it from the opposite direction as well. Makes sense where we are on the map. And then we loop all the way around here. And we are, well, we've done at least a full lap. We might have done 2 laps now. I'm losing track of where we are. Yes, it's all very tidily done. Water flow. Okay, we have water from this river, quite strong, quite wide, quite deep, going down through the start square, but we don't need it. We don't need it. Though we haven't got any pumping in place at the moment, well, the entire start square has been piped up to get you started. That is very tidy work indeed. Saves us a little bit of an effort. Oh, we're using the mod, which requires no pipes. You know what I mean? You know the mod. Anyways, look at the map as a whole. That is a really, really very lovely indeed. Let's head over this way and have a little look at the rail that comes in here. Now, this is edge of map rail again. We haven't looked at this yet. But if we have a look here, underground here, we've done exactly the same over here. We've got underground rail that comes in, links in with the main route actually under the mountains. And if we come this way, let me show you this one. You know that broken rail there, and you're going to have to fix it. You don't have to fix it. Look, we have a little connector link there. So you can keep that as an aesthetic thing on your map and still have a full working rail service. So that for me is very clever. Very, very clever indeed. Very tidy and good to see. Very good to see. Loving the underwater detailing as well. We're not getting a chance to check out the tides mod today just because this map is too good to really spend any time looking at them, but this looks to me like it would work exceptionally well with the tides mod. Now we have a Citadel out here. This again also exceptional work, as best that can be done with the more or less vanilla assets and stuff. Like if we have a look at the towers there, how the doors line up with the tunnels there, and that just looks really good indeed. We have a look at the tower over here just to make sure that they are all doing that, and they are. All the doors are facing in the right direction. Maybe a viewer of the show, possibly. These two doors are on the inside as well, which I like, and also the entrance is really narrow, which is as it shouldn't be. I mean, how many times do we see castles that have like a half a mile wide entrance? We see that all of the time. Certainly well defended, nothing's coming in this way, you'd have to come in and around that way, so it's just a really highly defendable little citadel, and I like it a lot. We're also defending the jetty, and the jetty is done quite well into the ground considering. Yep, I'm okay with that. I can believe that the sand has washed away a little bit from that. Now we have a few essential lighthouses, and if anything they're fine. They're fine. None of them really pop as being super exciting. And lighthouses don't have to be super exciting, but they can be just perked up a little bit here and there with a rock or something, just to make them look a little bit different from each other. There are quite a few. Over here there is it's a castle over here. Again, no problems with this. Totally believe the location for this castle. And again, the entrance is quite narrow. All the doors to these towers are on the inside. Everything is very believable. And there's no walls going through the centre of the towers. So again, all the things that I normally pick up on, well, Anoupou has basically gone ahead of me. Has basically stopped me from moaning. It's not fair. I've got to moan about something, so I will find something. And I think this something is going to be this highway. Okay, now I have no real major issue with this highway. Oh, look at the water, by the way. Look at the water. This water spawn point here, I'm completely buying this one. Let's moan about water spawn points, okay? Completely buying this water spawn. You don't even need any prop rocks. I've probably got a drowned tree there. But you don't need any prop rocks or anything really to mark that. That is quite nicely done. And there's a couple up there. Then if we come around here, we've got this little lake. I completely buy that lake as well. But around here, this one kind of is okay. I'm not really into that one, if I'm honest with you. Could do with a little bit more work to make it a little bit more believable. And we're talking about pushing standards here. That's all we're talking. It's good. Don't get me wrong, it's good. This is also good. But again, pushing standards, I'm just seeing water running out the side of the mountain there. A little bit more detailing of some description there. Whether that be terrain work itself, like with that first water spawn point, or maybe some props. Maybe we might make that pop a little bit more. But aesthetically, it's just lovely, isn't it? Anyway, where were we? Yeah, now look at the map as a whole. I love the design of this. This is basically a 25 tile square. Look at that square going all the way around like that. We're just losing a little bit. Well, the mountains over there are out of the 25 tiles, so that's not a problem. These are in. These take away a little bit of build plane, as does that bay. Just a little bit. But basically, it's a 25 tile square, which is basically what the game is all about. But I'm not buying this this route going all the way around here with the highway. It doesn't take away from gameplay, but it doesn't really, for me, add anything to gameplay either. It could take away from gameplay a little bit, because if you think about all these little bays that we've got down here, well, if you were to do a little some work down here where we've got this rail line which is kind of blocking between the highway and having a beach resort down here, maybe something like that. I'm not really buying into that highway. I would, if it were me and I was building this, if I was good enough to build this map, I'd follow the highway along that rail route there off to the edge of the map over there, then bring the highway in as a split off down here, down to a start square in this location somewhere, maybe extend it down to the end roundabouts there, and have all these separate start locations that we've already got in place. But that's what I would do. I just don't feel that the loop around the mountain adds anything. Speaking of mountains though, we have some interesting water going on with this mountain just off of the 25 tiles. Again, not buying that water spawn point, be quite happy with it just being a little pool right there. And then that runs down, this is good work by the way, that runs down into this lake. This lake is really nice as well, and we have broken through, where it's coming down through the mountains this way, into this lake here. And this lake is like a dead-end lake, but it's not a dead-end lake. This is where they're just 3 steps ahead of BonBonB again. You see how it's been detailed to indicate that the water does run down this way. It's green, it's lush, it runs into here when it overflows in the wet season, into this lake, and when that lake overflows, it comes down here, out into the ocean. And I would call that top level detailing in that little area there. It's just really well thought. Even the trees are kind of lining the route where the water would flow. But what do you think of this map? I know I've been oohing over it, haven't I, a lot. But what do you think? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewers' Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? If it's not, I'll come round to your house and break all of your ornaments. Okay, what do I think? Aesthetically, it's stunning, it's memorable, there's great design. Very little that I would do personally to spruce it up, maybe do a little bit of extra detailing work. We'll get to detailing around the spawn points, but honestly, it's 5 stars for detail. For aesthetics, sorry. We'll get to detail. Detailing. There's a couple of things that I feel that could be done just to go that extra mile. It's already gone the extra mile, but I have to lose a star from somewhere, I feel, on this map. And I think there's just room. It's like 4 7/8 this one for detail. 4 stars. Gameplay potential. Loads of playability out of this one. Again, I'm hovering between 4 and 5 stars. Thanks, Mr. Siren, going past my window. I'm hovering between 4 and 5. I'm going to go and push the boat over and say, yes, it can have 5 stars for gameplay potential. That highway doesn't take away anything from gameplay. I think it's distracting more than anything to me. Does get, though, the BonBonB seal of approval. I can do that one without even thinking about it. Great map. Abakadaba. By Anoupou. Yeah, that one. We won't go there again. No, I haven't got it on screen to read. But I've got all these names to read here. These are great people, these people. Almost as good as today's creator, these people. They are my supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to join me over on Patreon for just $1 a month, then it'd be great to have you over there. We're getting quite a little community over there, and I do enjoy chatting with all of you. Anyway, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing. And join me tomorrow for another map in the What's Map series. It'll be the Patreon voted one.